Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dailey Blend Show with me, Reed Dailey. Today is Friday, March 10th, 2023. And if you are new around here, the Friday Top 5 is where I feature 5 things that I thought were notable or interesting in culture, music, basically anything that I like and that I thought you would enjoy. If you did not know, we are on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. You can follow, and subscribe to the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you are mostly on Instagram, you're going to enjoy it because that's where we spent the bulk of our time posting, but obviously sharing some love to our good friends over at Meta. I guess Instagram is Meta, and Twitter. With all that said, let's jump into this week's episode. So the biggest story that I thought everyone should know, especially for folks who are in my age range, is the fact that Seth Meyers, Jackie Chan, Ice Cube, Post Malone, Brandy Noon, Shamon Brown Jr., Michael Abbey, and many more are going to be in the all-new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie voicing characters. I assume that Seth Rogen, not Seth Meyers, is going to be producing it. I've included the video to the YouTube, short of it about, the 1.5 minute clip. It looks fantastic. I am so fired up. I grew up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie number 1, number 2. The third one was terrible. All the comics. I had all the toys. I can't wait to show my kid. I think her head is going to explode, the fact that there are talking turtles. She's going to love it. All right, switching from movies that are coming out, let's talk about some Sunday swagger. So I definitely got targeted on Instagram. I like bright colors, and when you show me a hat that looks really comfortable, ready for the summer, and it's almost Dailey Blend blue, I'm going to buy it. I didn't even think about it and second guess it. Didn't wait for the discount code. I just bought it. So the company's called Sunday Swagger. They do polos with a lot of personality. They want you to step up your game with premium and playful golf apparel. They are a pretty fantastic looking company. Can't wait to get the hat. I will definitely be posting pictures of that hat online when I get it. All right, moving from sort of swag, let's talk about things that you can use to create. So I live in Chicago, Detroit, sort of Chicago house, Detroit techno. And I've definitely been getting more into some older house music, older techno, and I've been really interested in learning more about Carl Craig. So he's been a DJ for many years. He's sort of tapped as the second wave of Detroit techno. All my real old school house techno friends that, show me the way, if you will, have been listening to him. I just never really got into him. It was just whatever. And so I've been listening to a lot more of his sets, and then as a result, or sort of nice timing, he was doing this fantastic video using the Roland Sennheiser 4H4D or SH4D, sorry. It is a new desktop synthesizer. It's got workflow, deep synthesizer tools. It sort of looks like there's some drum patterns. I don't know. The video made it look fantastic. I want to get one. I think I'm going to sell a ton of my DJ gear. I want sort of like a Zone or the Pioneer big mixer, anything that I can do send and returns, and then use third-party outbound gear, either Ableton Push or some sort of synthesizer like this. So Carl Craig, thank you for doing the video. You definitely turned me into a future buyer. All right, so let's go back to consumer products because, like I said before, if you put something in Dailey Blend Blue or close to Dailey Blend Blue, which is basically like powder blue, which you could argue is pretty close to Tiffany blue. So the next two stories are very much Tiffany blue, powder blue. So a bathing ape, which if you are not as familiar with, is from a company called Nowhere Co., established in Harajuku, Tokyo in 1993 by Nigo. He was the disciple or mentee to Ferijuku Harajaka. I always screw up his name, but the guy that does Fragments. And I've been a big fan of Bathing Apes. I've had many of their shoes over the years, and they do a lot of cloning or are highly inspired. And they did one of the Rolex Submariner, which I have that watch. I love that watch. And this one is in Dailey Blend blue or powder blue. So I've got to get a couple wins or something. I got to really work hard and do something fun. And this will be my celebration. So if you see me wearing this watch, then you're going to know that I've done something good to warrant buying it. All right, so rounding out the week, we're going to talk about sneakers, and what better to talk about than sneakers that are sort of powder blue, which is Tiffany & Co. So if you've been watching the internet, they came out with this awful black shoe with a little bit of Tiffany hit on the Tiffany blue, powder blue on the Nike swoosh, and then they did a really cool like silver, piece on the back. The shoe was terrible. I hated it. But there was leaks about the alternate colors, which was mostly Tiffany blue with the Nike swoosh being black. That shoe just released in Friends and Family. That shoe's amazing. I love that shoe. I want that shoe. And then on top of it, Tiffany released just one, I think. I don't think they've released a bunch. But they basically made a shoe box out of that like Tiffany metal. So it is 23 pounds of durable 0.925 silver. I have no idea what that means, but it looks fantastic. I'm sure it's, thousands and thousands of dollars. If I had millions and millions of dollars, I would want that for my sneaker collection. It's just so cool. But that wraps it up for this week's Friday Top 5. A little short of the episode, kind of just jumped into the stories. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to us on Instagram. I won't be traveling over the next couple weeks, but I will be heading down to Indy probably at the end of at the end of the month. And then I'm going to a Bulls game at the end of the month, so I'm really fired up about that. So I'm going to get some new Bull swag, break out some new Jordans probably for that. And enjoy the weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next week on the Weekly Rundown.